Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Football Inc. How you doing? I hope everyone is doing fabulous. It is Thursday. It's the 12th of February. It's your lunchtime show. I'm back with Johnny. We just finished on Spurs Talk Show. Appreciate everyone that's come across. You know what to do. First things first, guys. Smash the like button for us on the video. Get it out of the traps because, you know, if you don't ask, you don't get. And unfortunately, I forget to ask on Spurs Talk Show because I'm so much into my ramble and my absolute waffle. I forget to ask for that stuff, and then it does hurt the channel. So please do smash the like on the Football Inc. Hit the subscribe if you're new here. If you've just come, I can already see 250 people straight in. Love to see it. If you are new here, then please do hit the subscribe. We're trying to grow the channel. We're just a few measly morsels away from 6K, aren't we, Johnny? That's what we're up to.
Yeah. So if you are here first time, please hit the subscribe button. Doesn't cost any money, but what it does is lets you know when we're on. And if you like football and you like talking about football, obviously we're Spurs fans. We don't hide that fact, but we talk about all things going on in football. And whoever you may support, we got lots of fans that come from all over. So really appreciate all of you coming in.
Please
Sean,
do, guys.
Just
quickly, don't forget, guys, we are sponsored by OK Jersey. You know what to do with OK Jersey. They are the best in town to find your new, old, retro shirts for whatever it is you're into. You can find your Jeremy Jacques as well. Awesome stuff. I've got the wonderful man that supports us, Edward. He sent me over 3 different windbreakers that are Tottenham branded, absolutely quality stuff. I need to drop a few pounds because the largest size that they gave me they have is double XL, and that means probably just a normal large in English sizes or whatever. So I need to lose about half a stone before they fit. But big up to him, big up to them. Code FINK at checkout gets you 8% off. Already fantastic prices. Do go a size or 2 up depending on your body shape. And yeah, code FINK.
I'm waiting for mine to arrive, Sean.
Yours not arrived yet.
Every time the doorbell goes, I get a little bit of excitement. Yeah, especially I was seeing yours come. But yeah, great stuff. So don't forget to order yours.
We are also available on all your podcast platforms, guys. We're trying to grow the podcast. I don't know if Johnny just mentioned that, but nope. We are on all your Apple Pods. We're on your Spotify, and we are also available on Amazon, all that jazz. So if that's your thing, then search for Football Inc. on one of those platforms. You should find us. Give us a rating and a follow, or just drop into the description and find the links. Appreciate any support over there. Johnny, shall we continue with the Tottenham first, or shall we move on to Nottingham Forest? And
listen. I think the Boardrooms now are in turmoil. You got Marinakis, 3 managers in the space of 6 months. You got Spurs, 6 managers in the space of 7 years. It's going to be number 7, could be number 8, because we could have an interim, another interim. You know, we've had Stellini, we've had Mason, we've had Sherwood. Are we going to get a Heitinger before another manager's installed? It's a shit show, right? There's no continuity. You know, there's no manager that's, staying for the long haul at this club. They keep talking about it, but it doesn't happen. And Marinakis is a throwback to what used to happen at, Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid and clubs like that, where every 5 minutes the club was changing managers. It doesn't help the players, it doesn't help the style, and it certainly doesn't help the club. And I can't believe that Marinakis sacking Sean Dyche is going to help. But are Spurs now in competition with Nottingham Forest to appoint the new club? If you had a side-by-side, which club are you going to?
Tottenham.
You would think so, right? Yeah. You would think so.
I mean, the people that make out that Tottenham Hotspurs are poison chalice, it's not. It's the biggest win-win, Johnny.
Yeah,
I will die on this hill. I'm not going to die on many hills about football opinions anymore, because it's just not worth it, because you're always wrong eventually, and then people want to come out with the daggers. As you've experienced 100%. This year, I've experienced it in the past, and Sava experiences it. It's not worth having a strong opinion, even though the reason why we're content creators is because we've got strong opinions, right? But as a Tottenham manager, you're going to get paid well, right? We pay our managers the 3rd or 4th highest managerial pay in the Premier League, regardless of who the caliber of the manager is. And you get £7 million a year Thomas Frank got more, right? 8 million quid a year. 3-year deals, 4-year deals, it doesn't matter. You're out of the club before the halfway stage at best. And so you're going to get paid out. You can either call out the club on your way out or call out your club after you've left to try to defend your own reputation. When you fail, like everyone else does, there's bigger managers that have come before you and failed. So your reputation, just like theirs, goes unscratched, untarnished. And if you happen to be the guy that brings the trophies, you're going to have sycophants forever, as we see with Ange. And even if you're not, even if you're the guy that just gets us close to trophies, Pochettino is loved by every Tottenham manager, every Tottenham fan, and he didn't win anything. So, but if you do happen to win, you are a hero. And if you don't win, if you fail, you get paid out anyway, and you are the latest in a long line of managers that have failed, and the fans will blame the ownership. So to me, this idea that it's a poison chalice, it doesn't affect your reputation. It enhances it if you succeed. It's untarnished if you fail.
Win-win, Sean.
It's a win-win. So win-win.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Marinakis, you might have to literally have a conversation when you walk out that says, I'm not going to pay you all your money. And if you have a problem with that, you wake up with a horse's head in your bed.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
I don't imagine that the Lewises or Daniel Levy's ever threatened a manager on their way out, right?
No. I mean, listen, Marinakis is a nutcase. We know he's got court cases for criminal activity in Greece, drugs, all sorts of things, allegedly. Yes, allegedly. But just the threat of him actually coming and sitting on you should be enough. Look, we saw the startled, scared rabbit in the headlights look of Morgan Gibbs-White when he said, "Yes, Mr. Marinakis, anything you say, Mr. Marinakis, I love the club." Yeah, we saw all of that. But look, you're 100% right. You know, it hasn't affected any manager that's left. Spurs that's failed, they've normally gone on to have a decent career, and the same will happen with Thomas Frank. Thomas Frank will just cite the fact, well, everyone else has failed. I'm just in a long line, and I had 13 injuries or 12 injuries. I never had less than 8 of my first team players out. They never gave me a chance, and look at everyone else that's also failed. But Forest, it's a different one. Are they looking for the same caliber of manager, Sean?
Listen, I think this is interesting, right? So I was listening to TalkSport this morning when I was out with Bugsy, and I listened to Alex Crook, who was, I think it was Jim White, said, we're hearing rumours that Sean Dyche will go to Tottenham, right? And Alex Crook laughed and went, "Nah, I've not heard that." But that's I was like, Jesus. When I heard Jim White say that, I was like, no way. Well, come on now, what are we doing here? And Alex Cook said, no, that's not going to happen. But Tottenham fans will probably be given a manager, if not immediately, then in the summer, that will probably still stick to the mentality of playing football. As far as Forest goes, I think Marinakis, well, both owners need to figure out the short term, the immediate threat, and then the medium and the long term as well. So, and I'm not sure what the solution is for either team in that regard. Marinakis on his 4th manager of a season, but the idea of Nottingham Forest going down is unconscionable to Nottingham Forest and to Marinakis. He's got all the financial wherewithal, but if the club goes down, they'll be forced, like
FFP, PSR,
finito.
That massive problem, problem, because the whole model. Well, they were sailing close to the wind as it was, right?
Yeah,
they
got hit with one, didn't they, couple of years ago?
Yeah. So I can't see, if they go down, it's an absolute disaster for them. Look, whoever it is that goes down, whether it's West Ham, Spurs, or Forest, it's a disaster. The only team that probably would survive it is probably Leeds. But yeah.
So here's the next. I've got the next manager odds here. Right, who do you think is the next Tottenham manager odds favourite?
Well, I would say
permanent manager.
Permanent manager.
Yeah.
Listen, I would say Pochettino is probably favourite, followed by De Zerbi.
No, and this is what they're saying, right? That Tottenham Hotspur are, according to TalkSport this morning, according to Alex Crook, that Tottenham are obviously that they're like they know there's a win in Pochettino, but they're conscious, and I agree with this. They're conscious of the fact that Pochettino won't necessarily be around until
Till
late
the
in the
summer,
summer.
late.
And
Yeah.
late in the summer, right? Because of the World Cup. It's the next excuse. Well, it's a difficult window because of the World Cup and all that bollocks. And so they're looking at De Zerbi. So De Zerbi, and we get this on the screen.
I thought he'd be number 2, De Zerbi.
He's number 1. He's 6-4 favourite.
Wow.
Next up is Johnny Heitinger.
Yeah.
Which I guess is, I think that wouldn't be permanent manager, but he does say here next permanent manager betting odds. But Heitinger would be like the kind of temporary interim, and then Pochettino 4-1, Robbie Keane 7-2 or 9-2 is the best price you can get on him. Actually, that's not true. You can get 6-1 at BetMGM. And then after that, Ryan Mason, Glasner, Silva, Postecoglou. I mean, you're not getting much on Postecoglou.
Well, see the Ryan Mason one there. So just let's look at this. Ryan Mason still has a very good relationship with Mauricio Pochettino and Jesus.
What are you saying? Bring him back for the next 6 months,
I'm
and then
just
let him come in number 2.
wondering whether, under his tutelage, that they would bring him back to work with Heitinger and Cochrane, maybe, because Cochrane's former Spurs guy. And, Jesus could come over while Poch is in there and assist him as well. And just as a sort of a lead up to him coming back to the club with Ryan Mason as part of the coaching staff, unless Ryan Mason thinks, no, I branched out. I'm ready for proper management, even though he failed.
I don't want him back, mate. It's like the.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Bringing him back home, like he failed at West Brom. He wasn't. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything in that whole Stellini interim period.
Yeah.
Like he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, but he's not. There's nothing about him that makes me go, yeah. What is it? Is it just because he's one of our own? Well, maybe that's the fucking problem, Johnny.
I think the only reason. Do I want it? No. What I'm saying to you is the relationship between Pochettino and Ryan Mason is very strong, and he was part of the coaching staff and blah blah blah. So I'm wondering whether or not the board will think about adding Ryan Mason to the staff, not taking over, but along with Heitinger and Cochrane, to bring him back and under some tutelage from Pochettino and Perez until they can arrive in the summer. The trouble is, they won't be there. We'll be in pre-season while they're all recovering from the World Cup. I don't see how it's all going to work.
Where are we going on pre-season this year? Is it back? It's not out to Korea again, is it?
Yeah, it's out to Asia again, mate.
Is it again? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's I don't know if it's Australia. I can't remember, but it's definitely. I think it's Asia again. I mean, what about North America? I mean, honestly,
you'd have thought maybe if the pre-season extended beyond the World Cup, it would be the right time to do it, but. I don't know. Maybe there's just a little bit of football fatigue by then. But yeah, it's weird that we just ignore North America. It really is. Robbie Keane. Did you see Robbie Keane's comments, mate? Robbie Keane's come out twice now and said, like, yes, I'm aware of the interest in me. Of course I am. I've got 2 kids that are Tottenham fans. So I'm very much aware, but I'm happy where I am. But he was basically pitching for the job, basically.
Look, who wouldn't take the job, right? And, with Carrick, the flavour under Carrick, bring back one of your own. You can see it. You can see how that would appeal. But I think if he was out of a job right now, I think he would be favourite to come in as an interim. I can't see him giving up a permanent job to become interim manager. So,
well, how much do you reckon he's getting paid at Ferencváros? $250,000 a year, 400 grand a year. He's not getting paid $1 million or more, is he?
No.
Whereas you bring him in and give him £1 million to the end of the season, plus a $5 million, like as you suggested yesterday, a bonus to keep us up. Plus you then put yourself in the conversation for the full-time job. Come on now.
Yeah. I mean, look.
Who's really paying attention to him out in Ferencváros apart from the local? I mean, what league is Ferencváros even in? Is it Hungary?
Hungarian league. Look, I just think that right now, Spurs have got to make the right decision, and it's going to be a tricky one. Look, if it was the end of the season, it'd be a no-brainer, right? You go all in for Poch. The thing is, they have to sound out Poch. It's all very well Poch saying, "Oh, I love the club" and all the rest of it, but the truth of the matter is, he might have better offers. Sean, he might have better offers. Remember how close he was.
Who might have better offers?
Poch.
Nah, he's not, mate.
I'm just saying. You listen.
Where's he going to go?
Like.
United.
Look, he had a very good relationship with Daniel Levy, right? And still maintains that he still has one. Maybe him being sacked or thrown out by the board.
He sacked himself, mate. Come on. People forget what happened. Like, he got to the Champions. Like, I love Poch, right? Like I say, I've said it for ages. I know I can see all the media now are using the phrase "scratch the itch." I was saying "scratch the itch" back like a long time ago.
Yeah,
right? Long time ago. But like the fans want it. I don't think it will succeed either way. But
you got to do it. It's got to be done.
Do it. But this notion that the club sacked him unfairly, like, he was pitching for other things in the build up to the Champions League final, the pre-match press conference. He was saying, if we win this, what else am I'm going to go? Argentinian job, whatever else, right? He didn't want to be a part of this the next season because he could see the writing was on the wall with the squad and all that stuff. And it was like it was a bit of a.
But who can blame him? I
don't blame him.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, let's not pretend like what was happening in that moment and then what started the following season. I remember the Bayern Munich, the 7-2 game, mate. I remember that season, right? And I said to my dad at the time, I was at the game as well. I said to my dad, he's dying for the sack here. He's put on 10 forward players. Like, there was a goalkeeper and the entire team in the second half were attacking players. Like, there's no balance here. There's absolutely no balance. We're gonna, and I think it was like 4-1 at the time or something, and then we ended up, or maybe 4-2, I forget. But I was like, he's begging to be sacked, mate, and because it was what was he 18 months into his 5-year contract at that point?
Yeah, look. For me, I think he stated the facts. It's all come to light now that he wanted to wanted to sell Dele Alli. He obviously knew certain things about Dele that we weren't privy to at the time, that he was losing focus and sell him now. And that was reinforced when Mourinho arrived at the club straight away, and he called him in and he told him what's what. He had a few home truths to tell him. And you could see he was like the kid where you tell your son, you need to do this. Yeah. And he's not really listening. He's not taking it on board. He said, I got a beautiful house, but the furniture's old and I need new furniture. And he wasn't given that new furniture.
Well, he was offered furniture, though, according to David Pleat, wasn't he?
Well, yeah.
We don't know the caliber. Was it second-hand furniture? Was it
second-hand furniture? Look, we knew then there's been no money now, Sean. So where was the money then? Right, we were short of funds. Stadium just been done. The finances were thin on the ground, so therefore, there wasn't a lot of money. We haven't seen massive spend even now in the January window, the summer window. So, I don't see it. My big issue now is there is no football people involved right now in the decision as to who's going to be the new manager. Daniel, whatever you want to say about Daniel, he had 25 years involved in the football. Johan Lang, I don't trust him. I don't trust his thought process at all. Charrington, none of these people are football people. They're going to be making a decision.
I spoke to someone this morning. I won't say who, but he knows a thing or two about a thing or two. And he said that his friend, who usually sits in the Tunnel Club, was transferred to the chairman's box. They did like some sort of ticket swap, right, with people that they know in the chairman's box. And so they were sitting in the Newcastle game with like Michael McIntyre and that, and they have obviously the table where they all sit around. He said that the guy that I spoke to said his friend reported back that they were introduced to people and they could overhear conversations with Charrington and Vinay, and like Johan Lang just sat like at the table, like
he's like a dummy.
Like a mannequin doll, right? Like just absolutely nothing going on. But apparently, and I heard this, and this is I trust the source on this one. Okay, and I couldn't believe it when I heard it. Apparently, so I see this guy here is just saying,
is this the same guy I went to Arsenal with?
No, Different guy.
Right.
Different guy. So Jacobs just put in, obviously, this has come from a tweet, obviously, saying Johan Lang and Vinay Bantakeshan wanted to keep Thomas Frank. I heard that as well, yeah?
Yeah.
We heard that as well. The Lewis family told the pair to sack him. Do you know why the Lewis family told the pair to sack him?
Go on.
Who do you think of the board of directors? And I'd be very surprised if you pick this one. Who do you think of the board of directors is a guy who shouldn't have any say at all whatsoever with what's happening on the football pitch, but whose insight, because of his involvement in his department, looks so bleak that he said we have to make a change, and that the Lewises listened to that guy before they listened to Vinay, before they listened to
No.
You mentioned him in a WhatsApp group with me and Gary a minute ago.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to remember who I mentioned now in the group. Oh,
Collicott. The revenue guy. The revenue guy.
So I said, so he's the only survivor, right, of that board, Collicott. And we can't say that
not without influence. He's the revenue guy, right? He's the guy who's looking at all of the commercial, all the revenue. He's apparently looked at his numbers and he's turned around and said, this is something got nothing to do with football. And he's turned around allegedly and made the point and said, this can't go on.
But also, Sean, we can't really say too much about what we know from the last couple of days, but he's also involved in the discussions of the next manager and what's going on at the club. He's at the meetings, right?
Yeah. When I was told that earlier this morning,
but the current ones.
It's true though, right? Yeah, 100%. What you're saying is true.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not going to go into more detail, but like, I trust the person who told me that, and if that's true, that Matthew Collicott is the guy that's crunched the numbers, and it's the numbers, the fear of dwindling numbers, that has been the mover of the minds. And that Vinay and Johan Lang have argued to the Lewis children or whoever
who actually have a limit.
Supposed to be the football guys. They said stick with Thomas Frank, and the Lewis children or Butcher, whatever his name is, has said no, sack him. By all accounts, it's Matthew Collicott that made that decision.
So right now it's Collicott, Lang, and Vinay.
But Collicott gets the preference over the CEO and the director of football on footballing matters.
It's
I don't know, but the story that the whole thing made sense.
Well, then what we know today,
I know the person he's talking about. I know he's got the relationship in these, and they did a ticket swap for whatever reason. So they're in the room, they're having conversations. Johan Lang sitting there like a fucking mannequin, not showing any personality.
I told you that before.
Conversations led towards this thing where Collicott is making the fucking decision. What the fuck, Johnny? I forgot to say it on Spurs Talk Show, but
listen,
what the fuck, bro?
Listen, look, we're limited to what we can say, right? I'm not going to go into it, but look, we know that what's gone on in yesterday and today, that Collicott's involved, right? He is involved in the conversations. Why? Why is he?
And he's the guy who's got the number on the abacus. He's the one who's going.
But what did I say to you? What did I say to you? My biggest fear is it won't be football people that are making the football decisions as to who we employ. Maybe Collicott will say, look, if we employ Heitinger, no one's going to come and watch the game. If we employ Harry Redknapp or so-and-so and so-and-so, we'll get seats back onto the table. That's not what it's about. It's about football decisions. It's about making football decisions that affect the club. Right. Listen, we all know that bringing that Mauricio Pochettino will bring the fans back.
Allegedly. Everything I just said, allegedly.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but I'm serious. Allegedly. The person that told me that, 100%. I've met his friends before. I know the people he's talking about that say those things. I'm not going to drop any names. Not going to get anyone in the shit. But I trust the source on that one implicitly. And Johnny, that's terrifying. But you know what the takeaway from that is?
I said this before we heard this news. My biggest fear was that the people who are going to be making the decisions will not be football people, and it's transpired to be true. And then the further news that we had yesterday and today from our people to reinforce that this said person is very much part and parcel of what's happening going forward.
Which tells you, how can fans react to that information? Well, hurt the club in the pocket, enact change.
Yeah. Don't spend a penny.
Don't worry about protesting. Don't worry. Well, I mean, you can protest as well, but don't spend a penny. If you want to enact change at this football club, the only way you get there, and people have been saying that for years, and I've always agreed with them, the only way that you get them to take notice of discontent is no more shirt buys, no more money in the club shop, no more money in the club bars. Go to a bar outside the stadium for your beers, and don't buy tickets to the game. And clearly Collicott's looking at the numbers this season and going, shit. You know what? And if we get relegated, double shit, because there's not going to be any renewals of the season ticket. No one's going to buy a fucking shirt with, I don't know, whoever the next Jeff Horsfield is on the back. You know what I mean, though? Because we're going to be losing all our players, and then we're going to have to sign 4-year contracts on championship standard players. Shirt sales, finito. Ticket sales, finito. Revenue, finito.
They're talking about
Collicott's looking at the abacus going, this can't carry on. We need to make a change. And Vinay and Johan Lang were advocating for continuity. It's mental.
They're talking about putting certain premium seats up. Are you mad? Are you mad?
Is that right? They put your seats up. Fuck that,
putting
bro.
certain seats up. Like the people I speak to said, no, I'm not coming. I'm done with this. I'm done. And let me tell you another thing. Spurs don't have a shirt sponsor, right?
That's another problem.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's going to want to sign that deal next season when you're playing in front of Charlton fans and away at the Den?
Yeah. I mean, the value of the shirt says, and as far as the stadium naming rights, forget that. That ain't happening. But look at the quality of the stand naming rights. You know, you're thinking, when we were talking about naming of 4 stands, you know, it's not going to be called the Apple Clive Allen stand or the Apple Bill Nicholson stand, right?
It'll be a local plumber. It'll be like the 8 Bar. The 8 Bar will be sponsoring the West Stand and the Chick King East Stand. That's all we can generate the attention for.
Barry's Electrical Wholesalers sponsoring the West.
It's true, but mate, it's terrifying. I've never once heard Matt Collicott's name in any other conversation.
I knew he was there.
No, but I mean, other than when you're looking through the accounts, right, at the end of the season, and you see that they're put together by him and by other people. No one talks about Collicott, and nor should you, nor should we. Right, we should be aware that guy's even a part of the squad, part of the team. But apparently, he's got more influence than Vinay and Johan Lang in the minds of the Lewis kids.
He's definitely part and parcel of it, 100%. He is involved in everything that's going on. So, you know, and he's the only survivor from the Boardroom. You know, of the main players. The James Flower
Plumbing. The Flower
Plumbing.
You know what, by the way, James Flower should have, his logo should have been like a U-bend with a rose coming out of the top of it.
Tell me something, Sean, who is the favourite? Tell me, who is the favourite to replace Sean Dyche in the Forest section?
Sorry, I've got that as well. Sorry, good segue. So Vitor Pereira.
Ah, really?
I mean, what are we doing there? And he's 3 to 10 on. Thomas Frank, your second favourite, at 10 to 1, by the way. De Zerbi, 12 to 1. Scott Parker, 12 to 1. And Roberto Martinez.
Do you know what? Thomas Frank will probably do all right at Forest because he's not going to have 13 injuries.
Yeah, he'll do all right. But can you imagine he just gets a nice cheeky, what will it be? Like 14 million quid payout today, and then tomorrow he gets a 3 million quid signing fee for going to Forest as well. These managers are fucking, they're in their own little circle, isn't it?
Do you know what? Could you imagine De Zerbi and Marinakis? You imagine the fireworks, right? There'd be
That
like
would be
punch up.
amazing.
Can you
That would
imagine?
be amazing.
Punch up on the pitch.
Oh,
Winter
there would literally be that would be absolutely insane. Just quickly, Vitor Pereira, as we know, the geezer who signed a 4-year deal to stay with
What an
Wolves
unbelievable deal.
3 weeks before he was sacked or whatever it was. I mean, the greatest signing of his generation. The greatest signing ever is to sign that contract and then a month later get sacked. Unbelievable.
Well, you and I couldn't believe it. Well, you and I couldn't believe that they'd offered him that contract. You know, total belief in the manager. It's a bit like Thomas Frank. 1,000%. I'm staying.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. I actually think Thomas Frank would do all right there.
What's the news there, Foxy? Can you give us a little tidbit and I'll go and search it up, mate? What's the news coming out of Saudi, buddy? Appreciate you, Foxy. Hope you're okay. By the way, guys, there's 750 people here. Massive numbers for the show. Smash that like button. But more importantly, don't forget to smash the subscribe. We're trying to grow the channel. We should be able to get, with all of you here that probably haven't hit the subby, if you all did, then we would be over 6K this evening. So that would be, well, this afternoon, that would be fantastic. Roy Viking says, if that's true, I think that's about Collicott. He said both Vinay and Lang are gone in the same sweep.
No, I think they're listen, I think Vinay is safe. I don't know how Lang's like just an ornament or just a wall hanging. You know, he passed me at Bournemouth, and he's just like nothing. You know, when I've seen when I saw Fabio, he like exudes energy and personality. You know, and let's be honest, you need a snake oil salesman to sell Spurs to players now. You know, what is Spurs? You know how are you selling Spurs right now as a destination venue? Hard ask.
Apparently, according to the Telegraph Sports, Sam Wallace, they're confirming the rumours. I see this thing from Roy Viken, who's talking to us right now in the super chat. There, he shared a link with. Let me see if I can get it. Oh, I can't. It's a tweet. Since the sacking of Daniel Levy in September, Nick Butcher is in fact the representative of the Lewis family with whom Spurs liaise. This guy's younger than me. He's got a horrendous beard. What are we doing here? He doesn't know anything about fucking football. It will have been Butcher, who is based in Orlando, Florida, to whom Spurs chief executive Vinay Venkatesham spoke before Tuesday's decision to sack Thomas Frank. And it's obviously Nick Butcher that listens to Matt Collicott. Not what you want to see, mate.
He's a property developer. With respect, he's in property. That's what I mean. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Right? I mean, like, I know property, right? I like football. Okay, I can make a judgment, but I would say that someone who's been around the actual football business, who knows more than you and I put together, should be the ones making those decisions.
Yeah, 100%. Big up to Trevor OJ Trevor OJ 1208. Big up to you, mate, for the super chat. You haven't said anything, but thank you very much, mate. Appreciate you. Don't forget to smash the like, guys. 750 people in the house. Get their subs up for us. Fox has come back in saying the news was Darwin Núñez is out of Al Hilal's Saudi Pro League squad because of Benzema's arrival. Fucking hell, mate. Maximum of 8 foreign players allowed in the league. Núñez will only be able to play in the Asian Champions League now.
Jesus Christ, how far has he fallen, mate? From that massive move, playing fantastic in Portugal, huge multi-million-pound deal to Liverpool, through on goal. He just couldn't finish his dinner for love nor money. Goes to, I mean, all the money.
Did you see that? I told you about that shot before.
Yeah,
though, right?
I know.
Oh, mate, it was the worst shot I've ever seen. He had a free shot on goal, free hit on goal, and he woofed it so much that the ball went out for a throw-in.
But how much money has he made? I mean, he's
fortunes.
Fortunes.
I
mean, that's how much money's out there. You get a star signing like Darwin Núñez out to Al Hilal in the Pro League, and you drop him out of the 8. He doesn't even come into the top 8 foreigners. I told you about that rumor that Ruben Neves says, really great to see Benzema at the club, but already he's messaging my 15-year-old sister.
Yeah, that can't be real. That can't be real.
That can't be real. That can't be real.
It's hilarious, though. Absolutely hilarious. Proper fucking weird, that is.
So, it's proper weird. So hang on. So like, go just quickly, just to say what we think here, right? Who do you think? I'm going to put my neck out. I'm going to say Heitinger's going to get the job with Cochrane till the end of the season, right? And they're going to go for Poch if they can. And with them, with Forest, I really do think they might go for Thomas Frank.
Mate, it looks like they're going for Vitor Pereira. That's what I heard on. That's what Alex Crick was saying this morning. Is all.
How's that a step up?
No, I don't know.
You sacked Nuno, mate, who's done an amazing job. You had the manager in situ. You had Nuno. You've gone backwards, mate. Nuno had you in the top 4.
Yeah, he's the biggest. He fucked up so royally. And if West Ham do get out of trouble in the relegation fight,
Forest
go down, oh my God, it will be the most sweetest justice against Marinakis. He will be. I wouldn't be surprised if Marinakis gets his vengeance in this life or the next.
I will find you.
Yeah.
I will search you down.
You are Nuno, manager of a guilted ex.
I know.
Father of a sacked son. And I will get my vengeance
down
in this life or the next. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That'll be insane. That would be absolutely insane.
Listen, I want let me just be clear here. I want West Ham to go down. But if it can't be West Ham,
no, I don't know if I do.
Want it to be Forest. I want it to be Forest.
I kind of feel like I'd rather have Forest going down just for the shits and giggles. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
there's more players at the Forest squad that I'd take at Tottenham than there are in the West Ham squad.
Igor Jesus, Murillo, probably players like that.
Yeah, Milenkovic, Murillo. Yeah, Sangare's not a bad player.
Why are they so bad now? What is going on there? They don't even have the injury excuse, Sean. They don't have. You got Anderson there, who they're talking about being £100 million.
I just think at this stage, mate. I think that momentum. I think that the way the Premier League has changed, with the way that football is played, and with the way that the squad differences have sort of the gap has closed massively between the likes of like the Fulhams of this world and the Forest generally to the likes of Tottenham's. I think the gap has closed so much that, anyone can beat anybody. But I think the difference is like a happy camp. I think it's positive energy, momentum, and people that buy in. And I think at Tottenham, we have a massive problem with egos that think they're bigger than the manager. I think at Forest, you probably have some of the same. In other areas, other teams like Fulham, where Marco Silva has cultivated like a nice recipe of engagement where the players are capable. They're not world beaters, but they're capable and they play. And the sum is greater than the parts. I think that the core competence that you need to be able to survive in this Premier League isn't necessarily superstars. It's just some sort of recipe, a cocktail of ingredients whereby the squad is better than the parts. And I think that's not the case at the teams that are struggling, and it is the case in the teams that are doing well and that should be safe, And so, you look at Brentford, right? They seem to have been harnessed. There seems to have been some sort of like, oh, everyone fucked off, guys. Well, it's just us now. It's just us, right? They took the best players, they took the manager, they took the coaching staff, and obviously the Brentford manager that stepped up has found a way to cultivate that kind of environment in the dressing room to get the most out of what they have, and they're all pulling in the same direction, as are the fans. Look at Sunderland; they brought in some clever players. They've got a manager there that's sort of grabbing hold of the momentum and the wind that's in the sails within the fan base, and everyone's pulling in the same direction. And those things get you that extra 5-10% that wins those battles when they're close. At Tottenham, we're in a headwind. Forest are in a headwind. Somehow West Ham have turned the sails around and managed to catch some sort of momentum. I genuinely don't think that
with the poor squad. The difference here, I would say, when I'm looking at it, Nuno is getting a tune out of a very average squad, right? My opinion. I think Forest.
There's still some decent players in the West Ham squad, though. Like Mateo Fernandez, a great player.
Fernandez, Somerville, I like. But they're few
Bowen,
Bowen.
Yeah, and also they brought in a couple of players in the January window that gave them some fresh energy.
Yeah,
you know,
Tati puts himself about up front, the Argentinian. But what I'm saying is, per rata, Nottingham Forest squad is better than West Ham's. Yeah. Nottingham Forest don't have injury crisis. Okay, but then you look at Spurs. Spurs are in that position, I believe, due to the fact we got 12, 13 players out. Right. I think if we had 5 or 6 of our first team players back, we wouldn't be where we are. We would have won the odd game here and there. Yes, we still wouldn't have been great, but we would be higher up and we wouldn't be having this conversation. But West Ham, I think, are overperforming under Nuno. He's getting a tune out of them, and he's doing stuff from a real rock bottom position. But Forest, I don't think there's any excuse there. They've got very few injuries, and they're still not getting a tune.
I think a lot of them. I think a lot of the team probably were like, "Why did you sack Nuno?
They were playing good football.
Why did they do it? Why did he do it?
I don't get it. All because
illusions of grandeur, mate. It's
correct.
Like Marinakis thinks that Nottingham Forest are the next City. I'm sorry, you're not. You're shitty. You know, that's what you are. You're not City. You're shitty. And I think that he made the change. He brought in his countryman. Who he thought, well, we've got the foundation. I spent a lot of money. We're going to bring in the players, and now we can start not just being a dogmatic football club, but a team that can play on the front foot. Too much too soon. You shot yourself in the foot. You screwed the pooch by sacking Nuno, and it will be the sweetest justice. As much as I despise West Ham because they're West Ham, I actually don't despise the football club. I like the fact that it's the whole kind of Cockney thing. I kind of like it. It's a nice little part of
roll up.
Yeah, all that sort of thing, right? Yeah, pie and mash and a couple of jelly deal, all that thing. Love all that. I think it's very marketable. I agree with the people that said that the West Ham to the American community, the American investment, that they could really market that whole kind of East End of London thing, the Cockney thing. I think the West Ham, like, as much as I should hate them, I don't really despise them. They're kind of a nothing burger to me. But Nottingham Forest with Marinakis, I think it would be sweet justice to see them go down and Nuno be the people that send them down. I think it'd be fantastic.
Well, the one thing that pissed him off about Nuno was the fact that he had the dual ownership with Olympiacos and Nottingham Forest, right? And he couldn't own 2. So Olympiacos were guaranteed to get into the Champions League. So he had to jettison his ownership into the structure of Nottingham Forest. So he put it into a vehicle, took himself away. And the second he did that, Forest started to fall out of the Champions League positions. Because if you remember, they was bang on 4th and they kept slipping and they slipped out. And then you had that scene near the end of the season where he ran onto the pitch, the owner, Marinakis, putting massive dents in the pitch as he strode along the pitch to remonstrate with Nuno. It was about Akinwumi, what's his name? I'm trying to think, their striker who collided with the post. He said it was about that, but it wasn't. It was about him remonstrating with Nuno. And you knew then, Nuno knew the writing was on the wall, but he's a massive, massive own goal, and he's only got himself to blame. And quite honestly, I agree with you.
The way that he forced the issue with Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
That whole Europa League thing. It's just bad juju, bad energy. Yeah. He didn't deserve to be in the...
And the same what he did with Spurs and tried to blame Spurs. Hey, hang on a minute. This is the same
guy I don't know. Maybe Tottenham did them dirty on that. I don't know.
Hang on a minute. He also tried to blame Spurs for his FFP and PSR fine when you hang on, you were selling Brennan Johnson to Brentford, an agreed fee of 35 million. Yeah. And you said you used the fact that we paid you £12 million more. We paid £47 million more because you had to hang on for Spurs. You ended up running into FFP and missing the deadline date. Mate, the guy's got bad karma.
Yeah,
he needs to go down. And as much as I said I'd like West Ham to go down, I'm with your camp. I would be delighted if it's him to go down. Talking about bad people blaming others, or people blaming others. What do we make about Ange Postecoglou? Do you think in the second video that's going to be released by Overlap, he will take some responsibility for the 26 defeats last season and finishing 17th?
Minimal.
Minimal.
By the way, I just had a quick look as you were talking though. So I had a quick look at the like versus dislike ratio on the previous video that we just did. Right, I've never had so many dislikes, and it's obvious that the Australian contingent were in this morning, and late at night for them, had a couple of beers on a Thursday night, and go, "Oh, mate, no, you guys are going after Ange again. After all he did for you, you fucking ungrateful little git. Dislike that video. Dislike it, bro."
Dislike it. How dare you? How dare you? Ange has never done a thing wrong ever.
My Ange. He's my Ange, mate. You guys just don't know how lucky you were.
Yeah. The fact that he went to Forest and failed. I mean, fucking 8 games. 8 games. No,
he'll take minimal. The question will be asked whether or not he had any, accountability, and he'll be like, yeah, I guess so. But at the end of the day, like I was asked, man, I was asked to win a trophy. That's what I
sacrificed it all.
Yeah, the Hotspur hippie brigade got us. Yeah. I see that guy. I got sent a link this morning. The Hotspur hippies come out and called Jonny, myself, Stell, Ben, and Sim. I've never been put in the same conversation as Ben and Sim about anything before. He's called everybody a far right racist.
Oh yeah, I wonder who that could be.
Sorry, I've got to be honest, man. I got to be honest. I've never seen a guy, and this is a fair play to him. Do what you got to do, bro. I've never seen a guy in my life who cannot fathom any logic or any reason why it is that other channels have more views, the people that he hates, than he does. And what must put absolute salt in his wounds is the fact that the only time that his channel gets more views is when he's talking about
us,
me, and Ava.
That's the only time he's up. Talking about far right views, what do you make of old gentleman Jim Ratcliffe, Sean?
Yeah, listen, we're going to go on that one, mate. This is when you know what I'm going to put the precursor in.
Rope, Sean.
Fuck it. I don't give a fuck, mate. I'll talk about any Aluko. I'll talk about them all. Let's just do a pre-run though, right? This, guys, for anyone, this probably is NSFW, not safe for work, not safe for certain ears. A pre-cancellation warning video shall commence.
Oh no, it happened again. What did he just say? I guess it's time to say goodbye. We're getting canceled today.
We're certainly going to get cancelled on this one, mate. So Jim Ratcliffe basically saying that
Roland Rat.
Well, yeah. What was the words he said? That the Britain has been colonized by immigrants, right? He did give bogus statistics on the numbers of immigrants.
Yeah, 9 million.
In 2020, there was 57 million. Now there's 70. The numbers are not like that at all. But I think he's talking about a deeper and a bigger issue that's more political than football, which a lot of people in the British Isles agree with. You know, listen, this isn't a political show. This is probably one for rabbit hole ramblings.
But you're not allowed to. The problem here, Sean, is you're not allowed to have an opinion that could be concerned about such a thing without outrage. And this is what
under free speech, right? He shouldn't have said if you're going to have an opinion like that, you have to make sure that the numbers that you drop are true. He didn't correct the right. No. He didn't say the right numbers, so he's a bozo on that one. He is also a giant hypocrite because, for what it's worth, you've got someone who's talking about the colonization, which is a horrible word to use, right? But the point, we'll get to the inference.
Was he talking about Ange?
No, but he's saying what he's saying, whilst at the same time employing 75% of his football club or whatever it is are immigrants. His website does talk, the website of the Manchester United website does talk about Manchester being a tolerant, inclusive, diverse
Correct.
environment, which is something to celebrate.
So
and by the way, the biggest hypocrisy of what he says is that he's basically saying, I'm not talking about immigrants that are coming into the country that contribute to the tax system. I'm talking about the people that don't contribute to the tax system. Let's be honest, right? That's what he's talking about. He's not talking about bringing in the likes of Mbumos to his football club, who pay more in tax than any of us will ever pay in our lifetime, in all likelihood, right? But he's talking about the people that come in and then sit on the unemployment or sit on the benefit system.
Yeah, colonize was the wrong word, right?
Horrible word. But just look real quick. He's also a giant hypocrite because he himself is someone that earns money from the UK, but has pissed off to be a resident of Monaco to save himself 5 billion a year in tax revenue. So if his argument is not about tax contributing immigrants, then his argument's about people that don't pay their fair share in tax. Well, he is someone.
You're one of them.
Monaco. So he's one of them, right? So ridiculous hypocrite on that basis. Although I do think that, personally, I do believe my personal, not the politics, is something we should be talking about. But I think that he is talking about something that is a pertinent conversation that the average person in the UK is talking about more and more. And I think that the fact that Keir Starmer, who has been absolutely fucking silent on so many pertinent topics, the second that came out, jumps on the bandwagon and comes out and demands that he gets an apology. And I'm pretty sure he's come out and apologized today about it. I think that Keir Starmer's a fucking disgrace for jumping on a bandwagon and taking advantage of a situation when he's been silent on a lot of the topics, of which part of the frustration around the immigration policies of the UK are pertinent to people like women and girls in the UK.
Well, not only that, look how silent he was with what was going on with the Epstein stuff. I'm not going to go into all of that, but my point here is he chose as an opportunity to deflect Keir Starmer today, and use it as an opportunity to deflect and put Jim Ratcliffe. Look, if Jim Ratcliffe had come in and spoke eloquently about the situation, that the fact that millions of people are coming into the country and none of them are working, and they are putting an unsustainable drain on the economy, fine. I agree with that.
I agree with that as well.
I agree with that. But you can't be talking about colonization when you've got a multicultural football team and you're living in a multicultural Manchester United.
Listen, but I wouldn't mind so much if he paid £5 billion in tax. Right? I wouldn't mind
exactly.
as much. Because we could sit there and say, well, all of my 5 billion, 3 billion of it's probably going to funding some war somewhere else that I didn't agree to anyway. And the other billion or whatever else is going to funding people that are coming in and sitting on the benefit system and all that shit, right? But you're not doing that, Jim. You live in Monaco. You live in Monaco, mate. So he who cast, he's a donut. He chose the wrong word. He's a hypocrite, but he's also speaking from a place of personal opinion in a world that's supposed to still have free speech. And Keir Starmer doesn't apologize for anything that he ever does, apart from the things that he gets caught out doing, like backing paedophiles. To be out envoys to the US embassy, all that shit, right? Allegedly.
Why the FA? What I'd like to know is why the FA suddenly jumping on board and getting involved, right? He's the owner, right? There's no point the FA getting involved, right? The FA want to investigate Jim Ratcliffe for his comments, right? There should be the government and everyone else should be investigating what's going on in the bloody country and what's going on in the country. FA needs to piss off and worry about its own thing. Talking about England and the FA quickly changing tax, what do you think about Tommy Tuchel signing a new England contract? A bit of a surprise, Sean.
I can see Johnny just goes, all right, let's just pivot back to football. Just to round off. Are we both in agreement that understandable message?
Agree with the message.
Say it. He in glass houses.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have said it. If he apologized, fair enough. Keir Starmer can shut the fuck up for me. He's an absolute prick. Right. Yeah. And he's entirely duplicitous in all the problems in the country.
Yeah.
But so Jim Ratcliffe probably shouldn't have said what he said.
He shouldn't have said what he said. He could have said it and said it in a better way, which would have come across better. But you can't be talking about colonizing. Get your bloody numbers right, okay, for a start, if you're going to open your mouth. But come on, Keir Starmer, mate, you're engulfed. You should have been sacked, right?
Yeah, you should have walked. As should his the right hand woman, the person who's in charge of the numbers. When you lie on your manifesto, when you say in order to get elected, you put a manifesto out, and on your manifesto you say we are not going to raise taxes, and then once you get in, so everyone votes for you because we promised to support this, to supply the money for this, that, and the other. And then you get into power, and then you say, actually, we need to raise taxes. And then the Office of Budget Responsibility come out and said, actually, you didn't need to. And they lied about that. So not only have you lied on your manifesto, you've then lied to justify the initial lie. That sets a horrendous precedent. Every next prime minister or future potential prime minister can essentially say whatever the fuck they want, do whatever the fuck they want, change their tact when they come in. And I'm not a fan of any political party. Just so we're entirely clear, I'm not right wing, I'm not left wing, I'm an anarchist. I hate politicians, can't stand them. I don't want reform, don't want Labour, don't want Conservative, I don't want Green. Fuck all politicians in my opinion. Can't stand any of them. So there's no agenda here. But if you are setting a precedent where you can lie on your manifesto to get elected, lie when you get into power, and then justify your lie by telling another lie, anyone can do that in the future. It's mental that they are allowed to get away with it because they just say, let's move on with the story, create some other issue that distracts everybody from the previous issue, and then everyone just stays the same. It's a fucking joke, bro. It's a joke.
Yeah, and look, we're going to sidestep the politics, but Jim Ratcliffe, mate, look, this is a guy who didn't even want to pay his bills to Spurs, right? He owed us a few mil. And what he tried to sidestep it and ended up having to pay more and pay for our court fees. Listen, Tommy Tuchel, he only had a contract till the summer. Let's be honest, right? Our chances in that heat in Miami are very slim when we're playing up against the South Americans who'll be used to that sort of heat. So he's looked to the bigger picture, and he's going to take it to Euro 2028, which is going to be in UK, going to be at Spurs and a few other clubs. I think it's a good appointment. No, I mean,
let's see how he gets on in the World Cup first. I don't know why we arranged these things before you actually got to.
But Sean, I think it's an unwinnable tournament. I really do for us in the World Cup. I think the heat will always kill us out there. It's ridiculous. It's stifling.
You haven't done anything yet. Like you got the gig before you had to do a tournament, and you're getting a renewal of your contract before you even showing us one tournament's worth of work. That to me is crazy.
Excuse me.
He's leveraging a comfortable environment. Everyone wants to be an England manager or a manager of because you get 5 days off, your work for
travel around the world.
Your work for months in advance is just going and looking at watching games of football. Great gig if you can get it. But for me, he hasn't had to face a single tournament yet. And we're already renewing his contract before he's even had one tournament. To me, that's a little bit odd. He hasn't had to prove his ethos. Like anyone could have won the qualification. If he didn't, I know he won every single game, but let's be honest, the World Cup qualification structure is such that if he didn't win every single game, there'd be questions asked. It's not like he's done a good job. He's done the expected job so far. Why are we giving him a new contract before he's even I just find it odd. I find it really odd. If he fucks up if we struggle in the tournament and it's because of the heat, then anyone could do it, couldn't they? Anyone could have done what he's done. Johnny, you could have fucking got together with the players and gone, just go and play football. You got to beat San Marino and Armenia or whoever the fuck he was that we played.
There weren't great ones, but I do think Tommy Tuchel is a good coach. I would 100% have taken him at my club, right?
Yeah, sure. And I think he hasn't done anything to justify a contract renewal yet.
He hasn't, but I think the FA looked to the fact that there was so many clubs sniffing around Tommy Tuchel.
So why not give him a 6-year deal or 4-year deal in the first place then?
Well, that's probably they would maybe testing the water, but I think their fear was that he would be snapped up and then they'd be scurrying around trying to find a top manager for 2028. It's a big tournament. I don't know, but I think 2028 is a winnable competition, the Euros. I definitely think they are, right? I think it's a tournament we could definitely and maybe will win. But I don't see the World Cup in that heat that we have any real chance. I think we'll do okay, but I think it will be a struggle. I really do. I don't even think we got an easy group, to be honest.
I feel like he is. I'm trying to think of an analogy in a normal world. I feel like he's a teacher that is tasked with the idea of getting kids ready for their getting kids to pass their GCSEs, and they do their mocks, and they do okay. They get a B grade, and then you go, okay, yeah, you get before I even know how you actually do in the GCSE results, we're going to hire you on a full time basis. It doesn't make any sense to me. If we're just worried about the fact that people were sniffing around him, he hasn't done anything exceptional at England, mate.
No,
we haven't played great football. We haven't done it. We still play the same shitty football that Gareth Southgate did.
I think it's a bit of an upgrade.
Everybody in a ridiculously easy tournament, qualification tournament. At least wait and see how he does.
I think the football's a little bit more progressive than Gareth Southgate. That's my personal opinion. But listen, I think he's laid down a few laws with some of the players there. And I think there'll be a little bit more discipline, but we shall have to see. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Tell me something. We'll do the guys. If you're in the chat, guys, we've got over 650, 700 people there, guys. Please hit the subscribe button. If you're here for the first time, please hit the subscribe button. Tell us who you support and whereabouts you're from. We got people from all over the world who watch this show, and please hit the like button. Helps the algorithm. That sort of stuff.
Should we do the predicciones?
Should we do the predicciones? Yes, we shall do. Let's do them.
All right. Predicciones time. Let's find out where everyone stands, shall we, people? Let's find out where everyone stands.
Who's gonna win this weekend? Gotta predict the scores. Gotta be Nostradamus, picking wins, losses, and draws. Who's gonna win this weekend? Gotta predict the scores. Gotta be Nostradamus, picking wins, losses, and draws.
All right, going into the weekend, the midweek fixtures, as you guys know, there was 11 points gap. I was at the top with 188. The chat, hosted by Sean Michaels, sexy boy, with 179, 11-point gap. And then behind them was Jonny with 145. All to play for, 13 match weeks to play. And we started off with Chelsea versus Leeds, the early game on Saturday. I went for 2-0, Jonny. You went for 3-1, and the chat went for 3-0. It ended up being none of the above. It was an unbelievable recovery game from Leeds. 2-2. What was your thoughts on the game, mate?
Sorry, are we doing? I thought we were doing. Sorry, you mean Tuesday's game? Sorry, Saturday's. Yeah,
Chelsea versus Leeds, right?
Yeah. Listen, I thought Cole Palmer, he missed an absolute sitter. I don't know how he missed it to put the game to bed. When it was 2-0, I thought Chelsea are going to cruise. But Farke's got them actually battling. And I've got to be honest with you, Leeds have just got better and better and better. Farke, he was the favourite for the sack early doors after a 4-0 defeat at home to Arsenal, beginning of the season. And he's just improved, and it just shows you sometimes you've got to have faith with the manager to try and turn it around. And I think he's doing an absolute fantastic job. And he and a lot of the Leeds players though are used to a relegation battle. They know what they know what needs to be done. Well, they were a promotion battle. They were in a promotion battle last season. Yeah, but Farke has been in relegation battles before, right? As a manager, so I just think that's a team that I look at and go, they've got enough about them. We speak about their home form all the time. We all dismiss their ability to get anything out of the Chelsea game. They were brilliant in that second half, that late recovery. Fantastic, mate. Honestly, they really did do well. And they fought back to get the draw. And, there were chances for them to win the game. It's the first time the PE teacher's got a lot to answer for, really, in that game, because it should have been put to bed. They have enough talent there, Chelsea at home, to have won that game handsomely. It's a ground that Spurs massively struggle on. I certainly didn't do 2-2. I think I had a 2-0 win for... did I have a 2-0 win for Chelsea? What did I have?
You had 3-1. I had 2-0, and Sean Michaels had 3-0. So 0 points for that. 0 points for everybody as well. Terrible start, by the way, everybody. Everton, Bournemouth. I went for 1-1. You went for 2-2. And Sean Michael went for 2-1 Everton. It actually was the inverse, 2-1 to Bournemouth. I didn't see the game, though. Did you have any takes on this one?
Again, Bournemouth coming from behind. Listen, Jake O'Brien got sent off. I'm I think it was about 10, 15 minutes into the second half. But at that time, they were already back into the game. I think it was a bit of frustration on Everton's part. 2 goals in quick succession from Rayan again. Sean and I spoke about Rayan, saying, why aren't Spurs after this Brazilian? He's come straight into the game. He's had 2 games, 2 goals and an assist. None of this acclimatization stuff. Oven ready, straight in. Bournemouth do it again, Sean. Bournemouth find another gem and pull out another win. It was a great away win at Everton.
It was, yeah. Everton are another team that just surprises us. I haven't seen the game though, so I don't know, to be honest. Spurs, Newcastle. Obviously, we spoke about this one already. I went for 1-1. You went for 2-1 to Spurs, as did the chat. 0 points for everybody again. So 3 absolute damp squibs of results. Look, nothing much to say about this one. It was the straw that broke the camel's back for Thomas Frank. Newcastle dominated us, in my opinion, for 90 minutes. There was a 10-minute spell in which Tottenham had a chance, and we got the goal. And as soon as we got the goal, we then sat back, and then Newcastle recalibrated. Embarrassing again from Tottenham at home, Johnny.
Yeah, it was embarrassing, mate. Embarrassing. The first half was even worse than some of the first halves we've already had. And we got no one on the bench. There's no one to actually come to the rescue. And, against a struggling Newcastle team, he had to go. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. There's been quite a few straws. But, we move on. The other game,
West Ham, Manchester United.
Well,
I went for 2-2. You went for 2-2. Shawnee boy went for 3-1 to Manchester United. We get a point apiece because of a 96th minute equaliser from Benjamin Sesko, who's finally starting to find his feet. Takes a bit of time.
Looking good.
It's a lovely finish as well. Lovely first time finish.
Yes, he's had a couple of really nice finishes. That turn the other game, the last game, to score. I thought we did really, really well. And the haircut man lives on. His dream is alive. He's probably not going to get a haircut now until sometime next year. Wow. Because the 5 in a row, is not realistic. The next game, Brighton, Villa versus Brighton.
So I went for 2-1. We all went for home wins. I went 2-1 Villa. You guys went for 2-0. It was 1-0 to Villa. And so 1 point apiece.
They're struggling, mate. A Hinchelwood own goal. They are struggling big time. I don't know what to say about Brighton. Could Brighton be sucked in, Sean? Because they're not winning any games, mate. And there's still 12 games to go. I think, unless they start finding a victory here and there, they could be in trouble. And is the manager in trouble? It wasn't long ago, Sean, that he was being touted as moving up the ranks as a manager to a bigger club. I think that conversation has been put on the back burner. Anyway, the next game, massive game, Man City 3, Fulham 0. Sorry?
Hang about. Man City. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, sorry. I'm looking at. Sorry, I've got that. Sorry, the one I've got is we've done Crystal Palace Burnley. Sorry, that was the next one.
Yeah. Okay.
Palace, but sorry, mate. I'm just looking at my order here.
Yeah.
Let's do City Fulham. City. What was the score? 3-0.
3-0. And I mean, Semenya was in absolutely sublime form. Phil Foden was on one. Rodri was on one. Haaland actually scored a goal from outside the box in open play for the first time in quite a long time. But there were two talking points for me. Was Semenya getting his hair pulled in the box, which is a red card. And VAR looked at it and said, well, it wasn't enough hair pulling. Tete pulled his hair in the box. It's a red card, mate. What is the point of when the directive is, if you pull someone's hair inside the box, whether it's a penalty, right? Did it, got away with it, nothing happened. The second one, I thought, was Phil Foden 100% should have got a red card for his tackle from behind on Calvin Bassey. It's a red all day long, mate. He meant to do it. A little bit of a nasty says, took him on his standing foot from behind. I think it's a red card. Both got away with it. Haaland went off at half time, quite surprisingly. I don't think he was injured. I didn't hear
up, aren't they? Just resting him, probably.
Yeah, there's a lot of games to come, but comfortable win. And Silva has never, ever beaten Pep Guardiola at any club, at any team, ever.
Yep.
What score did we have?
You had 3-0. I had 3-0. And Shawn Michael had 3-1. So
you were copying me this time.
I was copying you, Mark.
You said, what's going on? Things are bad. I'm copying.
I wasn't copying you. You just were giving your score predictions first. And I was like, well, there you go. I would have gone for it anyway. Let's not sort of
come on,
let's
mate.
not dress this up as anything more than it needs to be, Johnny. What are we doing here?
Right. Let's have a look at the next one. Forest 0.
We haven't done Palace Burnley yet.
All right, let's do Palace Burnley.
Palace Burnley was 3-2 to Burnley. We all got nil point. I said 2-0 to Palace. So did you, or you said it. So did I.
I've got to be honest, right?
And the Jack went for 2-1
up. Strand Larson, with a couple of goals, and you're thinking, hang on a minute, he's doing it again, Glasner. He's brought a person in. Everyone was saying, Strand Larson, 50 million, terrible signing. And then all of a sudden, Burnley, out of nowhere, score 3 goals in 7 minutes at the end of the half. And you're thinking, what is going on? What is going on? There's no way they can hang on to the lead. But hang on to the lead they did. And
Are Burnley, is it too much? Is it too little, too late? They're only 6 points behind West Ham. It is, isn't it?
Well, you think so, but their football's a funny old game, Saint. It's a funny old game. So you never, ever know. But that was a very surprising result for me. I never saw that one coming, got to be honest. Forest versus Wolves.
Yeah, so we all went for home wins. I think I did say at the time, though, I said this is either a 1-0 or a 0-0. I went for 1-0. I don't know why I did, but because it was in fact 0-0. But we all went for home wins. The chat went for 1-0. You went for 2-0, and I went for 1-0. So 0 point across the board there, mate. Proper bang average team, proper bang average football game. It was rubbish. It was horrendous. Absolute shocker. Proper shocker.
Proper shocker. I thought Mane might do something. The Wolves boy looks a bit of a prospect, but no. And then the last game before the game tonight, Sunderland versus Liverpool. Liverpool making a bit of a meal of it, Sean.
Well, difficult place to go and play football, though, isn't it, mate? You know, I think you said this the other day. We were talking about Tottenham's prospects away at Sunderland. You know, it's a difficult place. Sunderland have made that place just. It's like Leeds. It's like Leeds. I would say, I mean, a fortress within the context of their own environment. Difficult place, but yeah, Liverpool got the 1-0 win. Not much more to say. I didn't really see too much. I saw the highlights. Ekitike once again. He's just there. He's their knight in shining armor. But yeah, I went for 2-1. You went for 2-1 to Liverpool, and Sean went for 2-2. So a point apiece. And so with the Brentford game to come tonight, Johnny, here's the scores on the doors. For me, I got 6 points. For you, we got exactly the same outcomes on every single game. We got 0 points for the first 3. We got a point each for the West Ham, a point each for the Villa, 3 points for the City game, and a point each for the Sunderland game. The chat, Shawn Michaels, sorry, my man. I think you are, as much as I love you, buddy, you are a sexy boy, but you are also the worst points deliverer of the chat this season.
What did he get?
2 points. So on that basis,
Hang on.
Johnny, you've also got 3 points for Cole Palmer.
4.
Oh, did he get an assist as well?
Sure, he got a goal and an assist, mate. Let me just check.
I didn't know he got an assist. He might well have done. If he did, then you got 4 points for him.
Let me just check. I don't want to speak ahead. Lineup. Yes, it's a goal and an assist.
Okay, so Buendia didn't get anything, and Ray and Cherky didn't get anything. So Johnny absolutely smashes it. He absolutely smashes it at the current stage before tonight. Here's the scores on the draws. Butler goes to 194. The chat goes to 181. And Johnny pulls a rabbit out of a hat and goes to 155. All of a sudden, Johnny's making a late march. He's doing the West Ham. He's a West Ham. He's having the Indian summer in the league.
I'm actually doing the same in the fantasy football actually as well. I'm having a great fantasy football swan song.
Okay,
in the league. Carl Havertz is injured tonight for tonight's game. Shame. Arteta no doubt cry about his one injury. Brentford, who got rid of all their staff and all their medical staff came to Spurs. We got 13 injuries. Brentford just had a massively hard game against Newcastle. No new injuries. We carry on as Spurs. Now, would the Premier League, did the win last night really put the pressure on Arteta? I think it did. And it's a difficult place to go. It is a difficult place to go, mate.
Listen, I think everybody in the game, everybody in world football, apart from Arsenal fans, are supporting Brentford tonight, right?
Yeah, I think so. And I think I went for a draw. I think you went for a 2-1 or 3-1.
No, I went for 2-1 to Arsenal. You went for 1-1, and Shawn Michaels went for 2-0 to Arsenal. So if there is a draw, then Johnny edging closer, but at the top end of the pitch. I don't know what you want from me. I don't know what you want. All right, extended lead to 13 points. A nice little breather. Butler is out in front. Shawn Michaels, you let your team down, my man. You let your team down. Big up to you, though. We need someone to come on tomorrow to do the predicciones for the week. Oh, no, there's no weekend fixtures this weekend, is there?
No. It's the FA Cup. It's the FA Cup. We'll have to do one. Did you know that? Because I didn't know this until later. I've got it down on my notes here. That Nottingham Forest had 35 shots last night and didn't score. 35 shots. That's got to be some sort of record, isn't it?
Let's have a look.
Is that
Nottingham Forest last night?
Is that right, Sean?
Forest versus Wolves. They had 35 shots. Only 3 on target though. 3 goalkeeper saves. Only 3 saves.
35 shots.
They had 10 shots. Hang on, how's that work? They had 10 shots on target, 16 shots off target, 9 block shots. Okay, so they were just hitting and hoping, and Wolves got back and just blocked a lot of them. So, but yeah, it must be a record. 19 outside of the box. Yeah, mental, absolutely mental. Sava, by the way, says, what did Sava say? Sava's in the house. Big up to you, Sava. How's your journey?
Big up, Sav. Hope you're going journey to Birmingham. Birmingham's going okay, mate.
But Sean, Ange, the relentless self-promotion on tour. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. What do you want from me, mate? What do you want, man? You know, you can't sack me. I'm lifting a trophy. Football Heritage. I asked Wolfie if he was happy with the new manager. He said, if it's not Ange or Dyche, I'm happy. By the way, Matt Cox has put in a super chat. Big up to you, Matt. Doing the Lord's work. He says, Johnny, Sava would like your ticket if still okay.
It's fine. And it's all done.
For Arsenal,
it's for Arsenal, mate. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. And Chudini has come in with a super stick. Big up to you, Choo. Big up to you, Choo. I hope you're okay, my man. Listen, buddy, you said when you come back to the stadium, I might be there on for the Arsenal game. Might be.
Got to be there for the Arsenal, mate. And the new manager bounce.
Oh yeah, definitely I'll be there for that. As long as it's someone that I rate, you know. If it's De Zerbi, this club. 2 days I have been here. This club is driving me crazy.
2 days.
2 days. Looking forward to seeing Southgate first game. Oh Jesus!
Oh my
Christ, bro! What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Can you imagine? Listen, I think Collicott's worried about the finances and bums on seats. I think Heiting will get the job, but he's not going to do bums on seats. You want bums on seats, you're going to have to pull a rabbit out of the hat. Are you going to appoint Xavi? Is Xavi coming to Spurs? Nah. Right?
No.
How about Maresca? Is that going to put bums on seats?
No.
He's already designed himself to be the next Pep.
He's not coming to Spurs. He's not coming. Forget Maresca. It's going to be one of the following. It's either going to be De Zerbi on a full-time thing, or it's going to be Ryan Mason somehow comes back, or it's going to be Heitinger, or it's going to be Sherwood, and then it's going to be Pochettino. They're the options. They are the options.
Yeah.
I don't believe anything else.
I can't believe there's any left field alternative that's going to pop out the woodwork. I really can't. It's those or
is he,
no one.
Is he a Sir now?
Who? Yes, Sir Gareth.
He's been knighted.
Yeah, Sir Gareth.
That's the state of this country, mate. That's the state of this country. You're knighted for failure. You're knighted for almost getting to the promised land. What are we doing here?
Yeah, well, Sir Keir Starmer.
That's a problem. That's a problem, by the way.
Hey?
Let's not mention his handling of the Jimmy Savile affair. That guy should be stripped of his sirdom.
Sir Jimmy Savile, if you don't mind.
Yeah. This a country. What are we doing here?
It's all a mess. It's all a shit show. That's all I know. Look, I think if Forest obviously had a plan. Marinakis has obviously had a plan because he's already talking about Pereira, right? So that's obviously looks like that's going to happen. But I can guarantee you Spurs had absolutely no plan B because they're still having meetings and not knowing what to do. So I think the only way to go is to go with Heitinger because he's had his feet under the table for the last 4 or 5 weeks. Whereas if you bring in a Harry, you've got to show him around the training ground. He's got to get all au fait with everything. Nah, I don't think it's going to work out. I don't think it's going to work out. I think you've got to have someone who knows the club. We can't have... And Sean, just quickly, before we end, do you think it was a good idea to give the players 5 days off? I mean, surely if you appoint a manager...
Yeah, I don't mind
tomorrow.
Listen, I'd imagine that they're going to take a few days to chat.
Yeah.
And they'll bring someone in by Monday.
Got to be Monday, right? First training session, Monday.
Yeah.
Player has to be in situ, right?
I don't think the players deserve a break. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
But I don't. If you haven't got a manager, then you might as well let them have a few days off, right? Maybe they can recoup, rest, and relax, all that sort of shit. But
so he's going to need 6 days. He's going to have 6 days. This manager to decide what's going on. But do they not need to make I think they need to make the appointment by tomorrow. And then that person goes into Saturday, the training ground.
Goes in, gets his team, whatever he needs,
ready for Monday.
All that stuff has to be. If Tottenham Hotspur, if Colcott, who apparently is now the connector in chief of all decision making. By the way, I'm going to be going back live because this is the thing. Before you came on, Johnny, I had like 100 things to talk about. I've still got them in front of me. All of these quotes about Thomas Frank. Obviously, then we got stuck into the medical thing. So I'm going back live again in a little while, guys. So if you guys want to come back and have a chat about this Collicott thing on Spurs Talk Show, come back and see me. But Johnny, that is if that again, I don't know, but the people that tell me, the person that told me that I know that they're not the sort of people that make things up. They're not.
But we know for fact,
Matthew Collicott is really calling the fucking shots because he's looking at the abacus and saying, you know, green bar's good, red bar's bad, and it's a lot of red bars right now. And Vinay and Johan Lang were advocating for Thomas Frank to stay.
Yeah, look, we
now.
do know. Look, what we do know for Sean, Sean, is the last 2 days, Collicott has been at the meetings. Yeah.
With
Vinay and Johan.
We definitely know that. We 100% know that. We 100% know that from a different source.
Yeah.
From a source that's as close to the meetings as you can get.
So we know, right? So that's a fact. The question is, why? The big WHY with a question mark. Why indeed? Guys, please hit the subscribe button. If you're here for the first time, we're trying to grow, trying to get the channel to 6,000. Can't do it without you. And please hit the subscribe button. And if you're listening on audio, on Apple or on Spotify, please hit the follow button. It's not a lot to ask, and it really helps the channel. And if you get time, just please give us a cheeky 5-star review. That would be fantastic. I think that's about it for now, Sean.
Yeah, and, guys, I'll be back on Spurs Talk Show in half an hour. I'm going to go and get myself something to eat, and I'll be over there. Johnny, get over to Talking Tottenham 1882. Don't forget to follow Johnny on Johnny H3232 on Twitter. You know, I'm Spurs Talk Show on everywhere. Football Inc.'s where you want to be for the fun and games and the cancellation policies. So if you did enjoy it, there's been 700, there's been 800 people here at one point tonight. So today, so appreciate everyone. Please do smash the sub. Don't forget to get over to OK Jersey. Excuse me. Don't forget also to get into, if you are people that look into your podcast world, search for Football Inc. Give us a follow. We really appreciate any support on whatever platform it is that you want. I'll be back shortly. Johnny, thanks so much, man. And guys, we'll leave it there. Big up my man Gary. Big up to my boy Gary.
Sir Sean Butler.
I don't want to. Listen, if someone said, "Do you want to be a knighted?" Not with them fuckers. Yeah. take that when you do that sword thing. How about you give them a little slice across there? Most of them are not like. It's embarrassing. Imagine
Lord
if you were
Butler.
like.
Lord Butler of.
Oh yeah, I'll take a lordship. Do you know I actually am Lord Sean Butler, Johnny, because I bought a square yard of grass in some rural land in Scotland about a year. I've got it in a drawer down here. You can call me.
Yeah,
Lord
my son's got one as well.
Yeah,
he's Lord. Yeah. He's Lord.
Yeah. So
love it in America, mate. You'd love that in America.
The cheeky ones are the cheeky ones. All right, guys, we love you all. Thanks, everybody. Smash the like, subscribe, and comment. See you later on. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.